good karma, you know?
Wonderful! Nippon!
Wow, that's fantastic.
Welcome to PrinnyCast Roundtable, episode 95 on September 12th, 2014. Boy, it's been a while since I called it an episode because it's the PrinnyCast anniversary, 2 years old as of this week.
Woo! 2 years! We're in our terrible twos now.
Yeah.
Don't ask us anything. Just gonna say no.
Yeehaw!
We're teething with our beaks. We're a casual weekly show where we talk about what we've been up to and all the various gaming-related stuff from over the last week. We're your hosts. I'm Chris. This is Grover.
Hello.
This is Mike.
Hello.
And Edna's directing us through text message there, and that was some very nice dance moves there. And yeah, the Test Prinny, he's here too. He'll be getting some more of those anniversary grooves on throughout the show, so don't mind him. We're going to throw him off in the corner so he's not disrupting the rest of the show. But wow, 2 years. It actually feels longer at this point. What did he do?
He'll disrupt the show in the corner anyway, so...
Can't take my eyes off him, you poor people watching this show right now. But yeah, nothing really terribly special aside from that intro and our little dancing buddy down there. That's just, you go, dude. Anyway, what have we been playing this week, Grover?
Well, it's more like what have we been playing the past 2 weeks since I moved last week.
That's true.
And I played How to Nearly Die from Heat Exhaustion. That was a fun game.
Oh.
Yeah, it's usually not good to move in plus 100-degree weather. Was not drinking any water for like a day and then wearing black pants, a black shirt, and moving. It's really a bad idea.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
heat advisory of 115 degrees. So don't do that unless you like having to almost go to the hospital. But anyways, other than that, I started playing Cookie Clicker again because I guess I'm insane or something. Because, there are some different things. There's seasons and there's little dungeons that you can play. And actually, there's really not that much different, except for I'm seeming to understand the game a lot more than before, even though you just click damn stuff and you watch the indicator rise. It's more like I leave it open and then I check it like every hour or two, messes it for about a minute and a half, and then off to whatever else I was doing.
Highly technical game. Tactics galore.
Tons of tactics. And then I played Sims 4, and Sims 4 came out September 3rd. It's a really mixed bag for me. It's really mixed. One, because it's literally split the Sim community in half. They are at each other's throats. You tolerate the game right now because it's vanilla, and I enjoy the game immensely. It runs very nice. It has a fantastic engine. It plays very, very well. There's still a lot of stuff that was in Sims 2 and Sims 3 when they first came out that's not in Sims 4. Like, there's no toddlers, which I don't mind. I never liked the toddlers. In fact,
I didn't think you did.
The fact that you can have a baby and age it directly to a child instantly, I love that. But, there's other people that do not like that because they like the toddler stage and stuff and advancing them. But there's also no pulls. And
I heard about
that kind of annoys me because I like torturing my Sims to death by drowning them. I mean, that's just one reason. And the emotions in the game at first seemed really awesome. And that wore off about 5 minutes into the game. They started driving you really, really crazy because they don't behave like you'd expect emotions to. It's very robotic. And most people are like, it's a game. But usually when your mother dies or something, you don't go jump in the bubble bath and then you're perfectly fine to forget that your mom ever existed. That's basically what happened in Sims 4. Quite literally, anything that happens bad to your Sim, I've learned that give them a bubble bath and they completely forget about it ever happening, including catching on fire. And when they're pregnant and having the child, you can just give them a bubble bath and they forget about their having a kid until the kid's born. Everything can be fixed as a bubble bath. So yeah, that needs to be...
It's basically just another meter.
Yeah, it's worthless. It's completely broken.
Speaking of broken, have you had the fork glitch that seems to be going around?
The what?
They'll be eating dinner and then they'll hold on to the fork the rest of the day. They'll take a bath with it. They'll go to sleep with it.
I've had it with a cup. I've had it with they'll be carrying their plate. It happens just more than that. And yes, they will carry it forever and even after they die. One time when they died, I looked at the urn and I was like, the urn looks weird. What's wrong with the urn? And I realized it.
Got a plate.
It has a hand sticking out of it. And what's in the hand? The damn plate. And yes, I started laughing manically when I saw it because I was just like, that is the most hysterical shit I've ever seen.
I don't even have to see it and I'm cracking up.
Yeah, that's how ridiculous it was when I saw it happen. I'm just like, and of course I didn't take a picture because I don't need to because I'm pretty sure other people took pictures of it. And they're like, when you think, well, Miss Sim's eventually going to die, you don't have to worry about it. No, hell no, it's still going to be there.
Now those kind of glitches are the kind I don't mind.
Yeah, those are the kind that'll just make you laugh hysterically. Like the demon baby glitch. I had that glitch, and it's because I had updated NVIDIA. Unfortunately, I updated and it fixed it immediately, and I was kind of upset because I was like, these demon babies are awesome. They grow up to become even more awesome. But alas, I decided, well, it's better off just to update. Otherwise, this glitch causes something worse to happen. Mm-hmm. The autosave in the game is completely broken. It is garbage. And Chris has heard my anger from this in Skype when I was telling him, hey, I built up my neighborhood and added all kinds of houses and stuff and people and got their lives going, and then I quit the game for the day, came back the next day, and they were all gone. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of waiting for mods now. I'm just like, okay, vanilla game, I enjoy you Sims 4, even though you seem like you're half-assed and thrown together as fast as possible, on top of a really well-made engine, although I give them that. I need mods, because
it almost sounds like you're describing my music software all of a sudden.
I need mods to make this damn game work right. But I could go on for hours about Sims 4, and I probably will later on the other episodes. Then I played Tynan, same as usual. I have been getting more annoyed with it just because I am nitpicking it now. Because, sometimes I'll be sitting there doing something and they just seem to randomly miss for some reason. I don't even think it's the random generator. I just think that the people that made Tynan are real dickheads.
What that is there's certain characters that are just so powerful that if they didn't miss all the time, they would be just ridiculous. That is their way of nerfing them. I don't agree with it, but
I think they should have powered them down instead of making them randomly miss. Yeah, but that's all I've played.
Excitement galore. How about you, Mike?
Just really the main stuff. I did start back in D3. I stopped playing it for a long, long time. And they released a patch that introduced Seasons, which is the game's version of Ladder, and I still wasn't interested in it. And then somebody that I raid with in WoW started playing with. And he was begging people to come play Seasons with him because he didn't really have anybody to play with. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? The leveling is ridiculously fast. And I still wasn't all that interested in it until I learned that the characters that you create for seasonal characters become the equivalent after the season in your normal game. So you don't effectively lose anything. The only thing you could possibly lose is if you made a hardcore hero and it died. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you could possibly lose anything. But all of the gold and whatnot that you earn, all of your stash items get mailed to you, all of your equipment gets mailed to you. Any experience that you gain is added to your Paragon levels in your normal game. So there's really no point to not play it.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Path of Exiles.
Yeah, that's probably what they modeled it after.
It's a really good idea.
It is, because Path of Exile was pretty good. I didn't play a whole lot of it, but what I did play, I really liked.
Mm-hmm. Path of Exile is why I grabbed Diablo 3.
Other than that, I really haven't played much. I did play Double Dragon Neon. That's the only non-Blizzard game that I've played this past week. So it's fun. I wasn't sure what to make of it going in because it seemed like, what if this was a B-movie kind of thing? But it works out for it. It's entertaining. It's a little over the top, but it's doing that on
very
purpose.
Very over top, yes.
Yeah, so it's doing it on purpose, so it's not bad.
And it's pretty brutally hard, too. It's NES hard.
It is
at least
very
from
difficult.
what I've seen of it.
But I actually enjoy that because I spent a lot of time playing Double Dragon with my brother, so it's something that I can appreciate. Mm-hmm. What have you been playing?
The Congregate and the Tynan got their usual whole do's and meanderings for the most part, but it's been still putting in some small sessions of that Meltdown game that I mentioned last week here and there, and tried out a few other bundle games that I picked up recently, like the simplistic Diablo-esque Space Hack. It's basically Diablo, almost the old one. It's pretty old school, like trapped on a giant spaceship and the whole Diablo thing. You have the port town, and then you go to everywhere else, teleports included. It's very similar. It's just not as good because hardly any loot for one thing. What's Diablo without the loot, man?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
That's what's killed Diablo 3 for people for so long until this. There just wasn't any loot.
And then Pixel Junk Eden, which is an odd little creature of a game, but then again, most of Pixel Junk stuff is known to be a little odd. Ether Vapor Remaster, which is a classic arcade shooter type thing. It changes perspective, but for the most part, it's like top-down, dodge all the bullet type of stuff. And I finally got Skydrift, the airplane racing game, to stop crashing. I actually played a race for the first time. I've had that game for over a year now, and this is the first time it's actually worked. That and Jade Empire and Velvet Assassin have never worked. They've always crashed. So maybe this is a sign saying, hey, they're fixing something with these games. Because this is the cheap one of the bunch. Velvet Assassin was, well, it's not a AAA title, but it was a title that came out for all the consoles. And then in Jade Empire, it's BioWare. It's the game they made right after the first KOTOR. So having it not work on Steam is kind of head scratching, but oh well. And speaking of races, I put in about an hour of post-apocalyptic mayhem, which is kind of like a cross between Twisted Metal with Mario Kart. It's really over-the-top weapons and jumping and floaty physics combined with post-apocalyptic Mad Max type of stuff. It is kind of crazy. And then there was also Crash Time 2, which is a fairly decent little driving game, but the AI is so absolutely insane and the physics are a little on the unforgiving side. So it's more of a case of hate than love, because say you're in a car chase and of course the AI, like most any games, even today, the AI is going to be driving cars that's just a little bit better than yours because they're like riding on rails. So if you bump into something, you will never see them again. And if they get too far away, you get this timer and it's kind of driver that way, I guess.
So it's like Gran Turismo.
More like GTA if it was on super hard difficulty of some sort. Only you don't ever get out of your car. One crash and the cops are all around you at the end, that kind of stuff. Only you're playing the cops. So.
For GTA, it's just like that normally.
That can be true, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Gasp, I actually touched Minecraft this week. I updated up to 1.8 and messed around with it just a little bit. Got the drive to play some survival, but even with all the new goodies since I played last time, all the new blocks, all the new stuff that you can make, and rabbits. I didn't even hear about the rabbits, but there's just not enough there to keep me at this particular moment. I was always the creative sort, and I've mentioned that island thing several times, so I don't need to mention it again. It's still burning me, I think. I will get back to it. There's a draw there.
Every time we get you on a server, the internet kind of lags you out, so you're just like, oh, screw this.
If I don't crash the server, everybody says, no, it's not you, but it's happened 4 times?
It is you, damn it. Everybody's like, it's not Chris. It's like, it has to be.
4 out of 6 times, that's a pretty good... Yeah, anyway. But the majority of my gaming, I know that sounded like a lot, but it was one of those 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there sort of thing. The majority of my gaming actually went to Warlock, Master of the Arcane, the one that Grover mentioned. And it's that very Civilization-style game of magical powers and all that type of stuff. And I put a couple of dozen hours into it, pretty much the first time since I got it last year. But last year, it had 30 hours on it, so I played it quite a bit then. But as the irony would have it, that Humble Bundle giveaway on... Yeah, they had it the very next day, so it was almost like they were reading my mind. So when the Steam keys came up, I threw it at people. And I still have one more, so if anybody out there would like a copy, just PM the channel and I'll give you guys the Steam code, but it has to be activated before September 22nd or it poofs, so I'd almost put it in the description, but then I'd never know if somebody actually used it or not, and I don't want to do that. Matter of fact, there may be some YouTube thing against that sort of thing, so I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of a lengthy what have we been playing thing this time around.
Yeah.
Which is probably good because the topic is a little